Welcome back to Empowered Black Doula. If you're new here, I am a doula. I am now a doula trainer. I just had my first in person, I've done them virtually, but my first in person doula training.
I could blame it on the physical. I could blame it on your lips, your touch, your kiss, real traditional. But
Welcome back to Empowered Black Doula. If you're new here, I am a doula. I am now a doula trainer. I just had my first in person, I've done them virtually, but my first in person doula training this like a couple 2 weekends ago. So that was very exciting. I'll make sure that I put that information below if you guys are interested and you're in Orlando and you want to be trained as a empowered doula. I just had a new son. If you watch my previous video, you would know that. But today's video is going to be about breastfeeding, and what a perfect time because this boy is always on my breast. There we go. So today we're going to talk about breastfeeding myths. Breastfeeding now, like I knew I had education on breastfeeding prior to this, like as far as just, just knowing little things, but experiencing it, totally different world. So I just thought it would be pretty fun to, make a video. The first breastfeeding myth that I'm going to talk about today is that you need to leak to produce enough milk or know that you're producing enough milk. That is absolutely not true at all. You do not need to leak any milk. I actually have not leaked not 1 ounce of milk since I started breastfeeding my son. From day one, I never leaked milk. Now, I have seen milk like on his lips, like afterwards, or like a little bit on my breast. And obviously, I know I'm making something because of his diapers, but I don't leak. So if you think you need to leak, if you think you don't have any milk coming in because you're not leaking, it's not true. Let me be the first to tell you that. It's not true. You are still making enough for your baby as long as your baby is having diapers. That's how you know baby is getting input if they're having output. So that is myth number one. Myth number two is that breastfeeding should hurt. I have had this conversation with many people, especially like the older generation, because they weren't educated very much on breastfeeding. They will tell their family members that, oh, it hurts so bad, or you may hear people tell you that. It should never hurt when you breastfeed. Absolutely never. My son is perfectly latched. He is, if you can hear, he is swallowing and getting everything he needs. It doesn't hurt, okay? It should not hurt. If it happens to hurt, there is so many different reasons that it could be hurting. Your baby could have some sort of ties. Maybe it just needs to be some adjustment with the latching. So definitely reach out to an IBCLC or OT. My son is seeing an OT since he was about a month old. Well, I want to say like right before a month old. He's been seeing one because he had ties. He had a lip, a tongue, and both cheek ties. He ended up getting a lip and the tongue lasered off a few weeks, like around like 2 months old. So he no longer has those, but he still has the cheek ties, but he's still able to, eat well. So if you're having latch pain, definitely reach out to an OT because they are amazing when it comes to making sure that your baby's jaws are not tight, giving you the right tools and resources that you need to breastfeed successfully. If you're having issues with like milk production and things like that, you don't know if it's milk production, like I just said with that first myth, reach out to an IBCLC. They're amazing, or even a CLC. They're amazing. There's resources, there's tools out here for a reason. But breastfeeding should not hurt. That's all I really want to say. The last breastfeeding myth that we're going to talk about is when to feed. Now, if you go to a hospital setting, they may tell you you should be feeding your baby every 2 to 4 hours, 2 to 3 hours is the main objective they'll tell you. But I'm going to tell you the best way to establish a good milk supply is feeding on demand. Do not focus on the hours. A lot of people also seem to think that they don't have enough milk when baby is wanting more after eating an hour or so later, but that is not true either. Babies cluster feed, and they cluster feed during growth spurs. They cluster feed for comfort. They feed for comfort. Sometimes they're not even on there for nutrition. They are just on there for comfort. So there's so many different reasons why your baby could want to be on the breast, and that does not mean that you're not making enough. But anyways, make sure you're feeding on demand. Make sure you are feeding as often as possible. Put the baby on the breast. My son goes on the breast when he's hungry, when he's uncomfortable, when he's crying. Right now, he is teething and he has two teeth out at the bottom and two more on the top, ready to come in anytime. So, yeah, they feed for so many different reasons. So, just feed on demand. I promise you, it's going to make sure that you don't have I'm sorry, a really good supply of milk. And a last myth I want to talk about. I'm sorry, I said that this was the last one, but one came in my head as I was talking about this one. The last I want to talk about is that, oh, you don't like your breasts are empty after a feed or something like that, or whatever the case may be. Your breasts are never really empty. I believe they're only about 60% empty every feed. Trust me, you're not going to run out of milk. Your body is going based on what your baby needs. So it's like supply and demand, basically. So that's another reason why it's extremely important to feed on demand, because it's going to help your body communicate with your baby and your baby communicate with your body and letting each other know, like, hey, we need to make more milk. Um, just to give you a great example of that, you can feed your baby right now. Well, I can feed him right now, and in an hour, I can pump 3 ounces. You're never really empty. Try not to stress about your journey. Breastfeeding is a journey in general. So just try not to stress about it. It's not that hard. And also just reaching out to support and resources that you have. Um, that's also important. So, that is the end of this video. Breastfeeding myths. I hope you guys enjoyed it, but I am happy to be back, and I'm hoping that I can at least get out one video a week. But sorry, guys, I know it's been 3 months. I'm very, very sorry. Also, I'm so excited. Sorry, I'm so excited. I made it to over 400 subscribers. We are so close to 500 subscribers. Shut up. I was gone for 3 months, and then that happened. I checked my YouTube. I was so excited for that. But yeah, I just wanted to say that I don't celebrate myself enough. So bye, guys. See you next time.
Your love's too original. You were anything but conventional. Baby, did you know?